OPUBCO Communications Group jumped into the online world in 1995, shortly after the Oklahoma City bombing. Oklahoman.com was the Oklahoman's first website until it changed into NewsOK.com, a nationally recognized, award-winning convergence website in 2001. NewsOK.com has been the Oklahoman's website ever since, and now, October of 2008, the 10th redesign of NewsOK.com, and the man at the center of all these redesigns is Mr. Scott Horton, Creative Director here at OPUBCO.
Hey, Dave.
Scott, have a seat. We're in your office. This is basically where all the magic happens and the hard lifting and all the hard work. The 10th redesign of NewsOK. Scott, what goes into a site redesign?
Well, Dave, you know, this is probably one of the most exciting site redesigns that we've had in the past 12 years of all the designs that we've had, mainly because of the technology that we have available to us today. Things like Omniture analytics allow us to understand exactly where users are going and what they want.
So we're getting direct feedback from the users of how they interact with NewsOK, and you use that to build the next redesign here.
That's correct, and along with that also goes an awesome team of programmers, videographers, designers that are working hard, you know, to do the back end of it. And you know, NewsOK is continued to be, you know, Oklahoma's most visited website. We have currently right now 1.3 million unique users that use the site and visit the site a month, which is equivalent to about 15 million actual page views a month as well.
And that's why it's important to look at those analytics, because there is a lot of eyeballs, a big audience looking at this site.
That is correct.
And so there's a lot of factual information you can go by. Tell me, what do you use? We mentioned the software part, but what about the hardware? What sort of equipment are we looking at here?
Well, most of it's really interesting because, you know, with the popularity of the Macintosh this year, actually all of our programmers are actually.
And you've been a Mac man for a long time.
I've been a Mac man ever since.
You've been drinking the Kool-Aid from back in the day.
I have been, and I've been really excited about that because Macs are very solid. Not only can you do things graphically on Macintoshes, along with video and so forth, but it's becoming very popular with programmers these days as well. So, you know, we're using a lot of that. We're using Photoshop to actually kind of start out our designs and so forth. You know, we've got also a lot of great parts of the site that we're in the process of redoing that I think people are going to enjoy as well, that they'll see that with this next launch.
You've been in site redesigns for a long time. What are some of the things you look for when you're redesigning a site? What makes the site visually appealing for you?
Well, you know, we're one of the things we're doing specifically in this site is we're simplifying the navigation. We're widening it up a little bit more, increasing the point size on the articles so people can actually read it without glasses in some situations. You know, as you get older, you do require reading glasses to do that. But as well, we realize that the generations are changing as far as the way that they want the news delivered. You know, news, weather, and sports are very popular on our site, along with the classifieds, job. People like to come to JobsOK to hunt for jobs. But, you know, along with that, people are used to getting their content now through video and through audio and through live streaming and different packages, and we're working really hard to try to deliver that.
What about some of the obscure parts of NewsOK? Maybe some things that are, you know, emphasized on the site. Is that some consideration when you're redesigning a site?
Obscure, in what sense do you mean obscure?
Let's say it's entertainment, that we feel that, hey, we have a strong entertainment presence, we want to bring that back out.
Yes. Yeah, actually it's interesting you mentioned that because through our analytics we had realized that people were kind of coming to the site with one purpose in mind, and they would get their information and they would leave very quickly once they realized that the world hadn't ended, and they were able to skim the news pretty quickly. But we did realize that people were spending a lot of time on entertainment. That actually the number or the amount of time that they spent on the site, they spent longer time reading entertainment articles. And so we're working really hard to kind of beef up that content, bring it out a little bit more to the front, and give people more opportunities to really dive into that a lot deeper. So,
what's the funnest part of tearing apart a massive site like this and putting it back together?
The technology, and I think working with the people behind it that are very excited about it. You know, on this floor you'll find a lot of young people and a lot of great ideas that are floating around. And you know, it's one thing to say, well, we've redesigned the site 10 times in 12 years, but reality is in 1 year technology is a long time. So the mere fact that you have the opportunity to always know what's new, what's exciting, what's coming up, and be able to reinvent and take advantage of that every year And so I think just the mere fact of being involved in the excitement that goes on this floor and the things that are happening here, I think are very exciting. So.
You remember what those first websites looked like, ConnectOK
Oh, yeah.
and Oklahoma.com.
Yes, I do.
10 redesigns later, here we are. It looks
Here
pretty
we
good.
are, yeah. And it's really exciting because even in the last year, you know, with the launching of the new video studio, which you guys have been really heavily involved in, I think you guys are doing over 100 unique video a week. Pieces of content, you know, people are really liking it, specifically food. I mean, that once again goes back,
Sure.
to entertainment. Then you guys post a video on the site this morning, and it's my understanding by the morning it had some close to 700 views on the site. So people love that kind of stuff.
People like their Italian sandwiches.
That's exactly, they do like that. So I think that that's really exciting because the Oklahoman has taken the opportunity to hire that talent and bring that people in and make that change with the industry. And I think that's really an exciting time, not only for us as an industry to do some things that have always been kind of there, like video and audio, but we're kind of writing the rules for our industry. And I think that's important.
All right, if the window doesn't break behind us, we'll segue out of this segment. Okay. Scott, thanks for your time today.
Oh, you're quite welcome. One last thing before you go, I want to let people know that, you know, if you have an iPhone, we have an iPhone site. We have other, that's one of the way that we're trying to...
The man continually pushes Mac products.
Exactly. And, you know, we're looking at other ways to deliver, like through a Kindle or through some digital, other means of delivering the news. We're always looking for ways that people can enjoy the news and have it at their convenience.
All right, the next facelift of NewsOK.com, the Oklahoman's website, October of 2008.